Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to deliver as usual. Yes, even in court, they do show up late sometimes. So we have obvious load shedding, and I see that someone is also complaining about load shedding at 23,000. And we are sorry about that. That's probably what our reason is for us to start around this time. We greet you. It was a lot of things happening in court, and we're obviously going to have our take. And I see some few strollers who come here, troll us, and they say they don't want to hear us. They want, people demand. But again, that's why I have to give you a warning for the beginning of this video. This video is going to probably be a bit longer for you who's going to watch it. You must have data. You must be prepared that you are going to watch people. We don't cook noodles here. We don't do that. If you want people who are going to do that, please visit them and be free. We don't have a problem with that, but what we do not want is people to prescribe on how to conduct or what to do, and more so if they are not contributing anything in this channel. And we have people who've been following us from the beginning. I don't normally do this, or I don't like these speeches, but some people just have time to go and troll people. And it's okay. Greetings to our members, greetings to our subscribers, greetings to our binge watchers, everyone. We are here today, and thank you again for the donation from Molifi. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Molifi. Thank you.
No.
Highly appreciate it.
It's a membership, I think. It's a membership, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Highly
you for joining
appreciate
the
it. Thank
membership.
you for joining us.
Thank you.
These are the people that we are looking for. Thank you.
Yes.
Because
and if such a person complains, we take it very seriously.
Not because of man, but because they are showing interest in our channel.
Yes.
Emily, let me not waste any time.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another deliberation on what happened in court today regarding the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And yes, my apologies. I didn't have the internet the whole day today. I think it came about back around 2. My lines were disconnected. So yes, it was a struggle putting the show together today. But I am here, and I am here now. So Advocate Charles Mnisi, for accused number 3, began his cross-examination of Zandile Khumalo today, and proceedings started this morning with him asking, first of all, I'd like to commend for the attitude lady that you are after that interview. I have seen you, which it was played in court, and then Zandi said, thank you. Okay, it would seem your memory becomes sharper as time goes. And then Zandi said, I wouldn't be able to comment on that statement. That's how you see it. And then Advocate Mnisi said, it's based on your statement that even after 25 years, you wouldn't forget what happened. And then Zandi said, like I said, what happened was very traumatic, and my mind wouldn't just let go of that. What did you think of that? That whole forgetting situation. And then Advocate Mnisi said, would you also include the identity of the 2 intruders? Then Zandi said, yes, in terms of the trade, I guess you wouldn't forget how the intruder who had the gun looked like. That is so. Mnisi said, if you saw him, would you be able to recognize him? Then Zandi said, like I said, it's been 8 years since then, and people change, lose or gain weight, complexion changes, and people change hairstyles. But
Now,
your body and spirit and blood will tell you.
Now, they say I disturb you, but now you ask me that question again. What did I think about that memory thing? I think it's not genuine. Because you remember what you choose to remember, And all of a sudden now we should remember that you also forget which one is which. Pick the side and stick to it.
Pick a side.
Yes.
Yes.
And
you only remember what you want to remember.
So that's I don't think that memory thing exists in any case. I believe that for some weird reason she is normal person that as time goes on she forgets some of the things. Not what she was telling us that she doesn't forget because of the situation, making this about the case and the pain that they allegedly felt when this was happening. So she's just playing Fifi. Fafi.
Then Advocate Mnisi said, I'm still lost, but you would be able to point him out. And then she said, yes, I would. Then Advocate Mnisi said, I put it to you that the police investigation has not resulted in the arrest of a person that you can say that you are seeing. That person who had a gun. And then Zandile Khumalo said, as you can see, all these 5 men do not have dreadlocks. Maybe if we could put dreadlocks on them and change their complexion to 8 years ago, who knows what we could get. Also, only 2 people entered the house, and here I see 5. Exactly, my darling, exactly. That's the problem right there.
Exactly the point.
And then Advocate Mnisi said, but you can't point out from those who are sitting here. That's my question. Then Zandi said, for now, I only have suspicions, but I don't want to point out a poor person out of suspicion. Really now?
You see, there, Mnisi played the game very well. There, I was for me, even if he was short, I was satisfied because there he created doubts. There he had her saying that it was based on suspicions, you know, and that is all that you wanted. And as the judge would say at the end, that they need to put more emphasis that there is no one
nail it
who was there,
nail in a
or
coffin.
their clients were not there.
And even the pointing out of accused number 2, could you say that it was also based on suspicion?
No, yes. And she said that. And another thing is, if you guys have been watching Judge, very fair judge, I mean, if there can be duplicates of judges that are like this, I would be very happy.
Closed.
Then I would say at least there is what we call justice. But then it's rare to find such.
Yes,
It's a rare breed that you don't get anywhere. To have this consistency, even after even after you're taken from retirement, you come back and still show the same glimpse that you were showing when you left. That is rare breed.
A very rare breed. I'm thinking, how many times would the previous presiding officer have interrupted by now?
And when Emily we said that people should object, there are many things that they should object. Like, for instance, Baloyi leading this Lorraine woman and pointing people while they are in the court.
You still needed to object.
They needed to object.
Yes.
Ramusipedi did that first time. I don't know why
Now
all
they
of a
just
sudden
chilled. They're chilling.
and you have a right judge now who actually, when you looked at him when Lorraine was pointing this, the demeanor was saying, are you gonna say something, defense? Please say something. Just say something, because this is not right. He knows it's not right. Right?
Yes.
He knows for sure it's
Just
not right.
waiting for the defense.
But he cannot object.
Be awake.
The judge cannot object in this case. But he knows that if the defense was to stand up and say, but you can't do that while we are in a stand there. You can't do that. This is not a parade or whatsoever.
This is not an idea.
Here we're here to determine if these people are innocent or not.
Yes.
And by you appointing, you are not making that process easy. Because now you have already pointed at that person who's at the stand.
Exactly.
Then why are we here? We might as well close this case and go, because you, with your suspicions, have managed to point at my client.
Exactly. And what other proof do you have besides the eyebrows and the trail?
And the suspicion.
And the hoodie and whatnot, So Advocate Mnisi then said, now you are seated in the dining room and then two strange people get into the house, not so. And then that is so. That's what Zandi said. One of them produces a firearm and says money and cell phones and says that in Zulu. And then Zandi said, yes. Then Longwe jumps, pushes this person and dashes out of the house. Zandi said, yes. Then all of you push this person towards the kitchen. Then she said, yes. I'm struggling to understand. Explain the pushing. How did it take place? Then Zandi said, Longwe pushed this one with the gun like they do in the scrum in rugby.
Can you imagine?
Uthi, lo muntu lo, guys, ubambe isibhamu. Ulongo wasukuma. Wathi, ngikhanda.
Basically, a scrum. I mean, most of you would know the scrum. I'm just thinking in my head, in my crazy head, that you doing that on someone who's carrying a weapon, you giving your head out and not even look. I mean, a scrum, you cannot be looking at that person most of the time. You just aim at that person and see that person is there, and then you go for that person, and you are giving your head already. You are giving your head already, and this person is carrying a firearm.
It's not made sure.
A firearm, according to people who were in the house, that had ammunition. So that had ammo. Eventually, that firearm would probably go on and do more damage by taking our beloved Senzo. And nothing happened.
As for it, he pushed him on the lower part of the body and he lost his balance, and they all stood up and started pushing them. Now they're no longer pushing the one with the firearm, they're pushing both of them. Remember, the other one is busy with the door.
It just doesn't make sense, Emil. Think about it.
I'm trying to imagine it, guys. It's not making any sense to me. It's
like we're talking wrestling here. Someone goes in with a shoulder and a head all out. It's like a spear. And then what? They hold you not to fall, because apparently the guy didn't fall.
He didn't fall.
Thank you, Zandile Khumalo, for donating. Thank you very much. Apparently the guy didn't fall.
Oh, my goodness. Ha! Then Zandi said, then there was this other one next to the bedroom door that is next to the kitchen. We pushed and they resisted, but we outnumbered them. But I cannot say who was at the front and so on. There were a lot of movements. So Advocate Mnisi then asked, upon them landing on the kitchen door with their backs, what then happened? Then Zandi said, suspect number one wrestled with the gunman for the gun, and I was trying to assault the second one with Tumelo, but I couldn't reach. So I guess she was trying to say suspect number one was wrestling with Senzo for the gun. And then she tried to assault the second one with Tumelo, but she couldn't reach. Please hold on to that. She couldn't reach.
Yes.
Then Zandi says the second intruder didn't have anything in his possession. Advocate Mnisi asked him, Togozisi will say the second perpetrator had a knife in his possession, which is true. It's in his statement, and it was also in his testimony before De Novo. Zandi then said, firstly, I'm not Mtogozisi. He saw what he saw, and I'm here to tell this court what I saw. Then Advocate Mnisi asked, did the second intruder cover his head with his hoodie? Then Zandi said yes, until the skirmishes in the kitchen, Then Zandi said, I don't know, but when I ran into, he still had it on. And you still couldn't see him. Maybe you should demonstrate to us how he wore that hoodie, because he took out that hoodie. It was a black one, and was asking, okay, this part, at the head. You are saying it was over his head.
Yes.
And she confirmed it. And then they're like, maybe you can demonstrate to us with this hoodie how it's done. And Zandi didn't want to do it. She said it will ruin her beautiful hairstyle that she had spent time working on. Hey, Lorraine, the arrogance she had in the morning with Advocate Mnisi, I don't know how many of you picked it up, but it was too much. It was too much.
Yes.
It was too much. It was behaving of a suspect instead of a witness on the stand.
That is what is very amazing. That, I mean, we are here to help the court draw the picture of what happened. And as you've rightly so said that the public has perhaps judged you.
Yes, this was your opportunity
why
to convince
the arrogance
us otherwise.
then towards the lawyers who are here to determine for their clients? In fact, they are only there because of their clients. Why then do you push back?
It's giving, I was also accused. It's giving, I need to defend myself instead of I need to tell you what happened to Senzo.
Exactly.
It's giving that. And that is where I think a majority of us have a problem when it comes to your behavior, girl. So Advocate Mnisi then said the court rules wouldn't allow me to wear it. And then Zandi said I wouldn't be able to put it on because I have a beautiful hairstyle that I worked so hard on this morning. And I'm like, oh.
Is that one that of that bed, that sleeve?
That looks
that
like a bed is resting on her head. Yeah, that one.
That one of that bed.
bleach.
What is that bed?
It's bleached blonde. It looks like a blonde. A lot is going on with that hairstyle, and she doesn't want to let it go. She's been having it for the last I don't know how many years.
There is this bed that we called is proper mate.
What kind of bed is that?
It doesn't. The next of that bed is on the tree itself, the stem of a tree. It drills the stem and it creates that hole and it gets inside there.
Or it gets inside the tree. It resides inside the stem of the
there's
tree.
other one, I think, what Utegwane. Yes, in fact, that one. Those who are Zulus, they would know those beds.
I wish I knew them in
Because
English, guys. I'm sorry.
we used to basically hunt for those beds and yeah.
They have bright colors, like they are black, and then they have one part that has a bright color. That's how they look like.
So that's the one that she's talking about.
Mnisi then said Mokgoatlheng will come and say that suddenly at about 800 hours on the 26th of October 2014, 2 unknown males entered the house. Then on the statement, Longwe saying, I heard a voice saying, take out cell phones and money. I then approached one of these boys, grabbed him and pushed him. Grabbed him and pushed him. Zandiena uti rugby. Olongwe uti I grabbed and I pushed. Two different things here. So Advocate Mnisi then said, and that he was armed with a revolver 3.8 special. I then ran out of the house to go look for help. Mnisi then said he also made a further statement. Just as Kelly was about to tell the joke, I noticed 2 black guys, one tall, light in complexion. One tall and light in complexion. Konjo Zanduteni. Darkish.
Yes.
Then Advocate Mnisi went on to say, Longo will tell this court that the tall one was light in complexion, and you say he was dark. Zandi said, firstly, we don't see things alike. When I refer to this bottle, I could say it's light blue, and you might say it's light green. So what you're saying is Longo might have made a mistake. That was what was being asked, and then the judge said she's not saying that. She's saying that she has her own interpretation and observation. I mean, look at the bottle. Someone else says it's light blue. Someone else will say it's light green. Someone will say it's turquoise. Then Mnisi had to withdraw that question. But it was a good one, hey?
It was.
It was a good one. I felt like Mnisi didn't fight hard enough there. He didn't fight hard enough. I'd be like, do you have any condition that of color blindness or something?
Exactly.
I would have taken it there.
Exactly. Because you are playing what we call, what is it, that module that I hated, that would argue anything. What is it? Is it philosophy?
Yeah.
Where everything can be questioned. So now we are playing that hide and seek thing.
I feel like, Mnisi, you could have done so much with this one. This one is also one of those that you need to push on, but it's fine. Then Mnisi said he made a further statement, said, I noticed 2 guys enter the house. This is Longwe's statement. The one who came first was short, dark, had dreadlocks, cheekbones, and wore a khaki jacket, which was beige. Beige is like brownish. So he could not remember his other clothing. So immediately, a tall one followed him wearing a hoodie and light in complexion. Another thing that I also felt like they should have done was ask for the color of the hoodie. And so far, Ramsipili didn't do it, Mnisi didn't do it.
Because he claimed at some point forgetting the color.
Then you bring it up again with the complexion issue. Ma'am, do you have a color issue that perhaps we are not aware of as the court? You can't identify colors. Then she needs to be clear on that. Put it on the record. You understand? So Longwe still insists here that the second one was light in complexion. And then Zandi said, I won't argue with him on that. It might be that we are 50 in a room. It depends on how you turned and saw something and from which angle. We could all see the same thing but experience it differently.
Yeah.
Moving on to another section, Mnisi said there is another witness that will come and say he got a call from your sister, Kelly, as she was explaining what was happening there was a communication breakdown and they tried to reach her. They couldn't find her. Then Mnisi subsequently said they phoned Tumelo Madlala and Tumelo told him that Senzo had been hit by a bullet and this happened as Senzo was trying to separate a fight between you and Longwe. Now the people that were in the court are saying that she smiled wearily, like you know that smile you do, you know, when you...
What? She was amused by Longwe's name?
There's this amusement there in that statement as it was being mentioned by Advocate Mnisi.
I guess you see now what we are missing. Because
those facial expressions, we needed to see them, but they blocked them from happening. That is why she's so full of arrogance in her voice, because she knows that we don't see anything. So Zandi also said, firstly, Longwe and I were not fighting. We were very happy. I say happy, Gabi. We were very happy. We were in a very good space. Very good space, girl. That's why I invited him to my home. Note again, she says she's the one who invited him. That which is being said there, I do not know. Then Mnisi concluded his cross-examination. Then after 15 minutes of adjournment, Advocate Khumalo started with
now,
his
the only thing that was missing, Mnisi, is that he needed to put it again to Lorraine that there were no people there
in the house.
Not my client, and there were no people there in the house. I mean, they have someone who's gonna come and sort of corroborate the story. They need to use that angle a lot. That
they need to emphasize
on it. If you have that,
it doesn't matter whether she agrees or not, but put it on the record.
Yes.
And I felt like Mnisi across it. I was so underwhelmed, guys. I was very underwhelmed with Mnisi today. I'm like, what is happening? What is going on?
I was not. I mean, the only thing
I expected more.
The only thing you expected her to last longer, and he didn't do that. He just put his points across and he created the doubting of the visualization of these people. in admitting that I'm using my suspicions already suspicions, and I'm using or what I saw, it's totally different. The only thing that was needed is to have a proper closure of my client was not there.
And the first state where your client was on the night Senzo Meyiwa passed on. Then take it to how they got arrested or how they got to be accused of this crime. I needed more of that. Well.
So there's nothing that for me was underwhelming about what happened. But I kind of expected Mnisi not to go for long. Mnisi is might be smiling, but he kind of has this short way of asking questions, and they are well thought. His questions are well thought, and probably an opposite of what you'd see with Ramusipedi. Structured questions and questions that are thought on a foot like that, or after your answer, and then clarity from there, which is a normal practice of what an advocate or any lawyer who's defending should be doing, because some answers will require you to follow up with something that you didn't prepare for because of how the person answers. Then you follow up in a certain way.
Well, before Advocate Khumalo could start with his cross-examination, Advocate Baloyi read a statement, and it said on the night, the same statement that Advocate Mnisi read from, that said that there was a fight between Zandi and Longwe. So he came in to say that, as it reads, he read it and it said, and I quote, on the night of the 26th of October 2014, he wanted to get the truth of what exactly happened.
Yes.
Tumelo told him that there was a fight in Kelly Khumalo's house. Zandi was fighting with the then boyfriend, and Senzo Meyiwa was trying to separate the two. Zandi and her boyfriend. I further asked Tumelo, who was Zandi? Tumelo told me that was Kelly's sister. So the state said that there's no statement by any witness suggesting that Senzo Meyiwa was hit by a bullet as he was trying to separate a fight between Zandi and Longwe.
But then this is now where, again, we're not using anything. You are in a fight, you would use a shoe to hit, you would use your head, some like Longwe, you'd use your whatever, in that case. But one thing that you could have said in that situation is that is the state not disputing the fight that occurred in the house, and my lord, I would accept that maybe perhaps in that fight then there was no bullet, then I would withdraw. You see, by you saying that, you are still accepting the fact that there was a fight. Yes. Which Lorraine has disputed.
Yes.
But you are leaving the fight there.
Yeah, the fight he left alone.
So if we accept that there was, according to this statement, this person is still going to come and testify. The state has called this person.
Yes.
So if we accept the situation like that, I would accept that, again, maybe it was not a bullet in that fight.
Then Advocate Khumalo started with his cross-examination by saying that you told the court that Senzo Meyiwa and Kelly Khumalo's relationship started in 2012, 2013. And Zandi confirmed that. How was their relationship? Just like any other relationship now, Zandi says. There were ups and downs. But what I know is that they loved each other and they were happy.
You see? One side is portrayed. The other side only comes when we are questioned about it, and indeed we have figured out that actually it was not Romeo and Juliet. So after that, now we are willing to expand on that. We are willing to play blame games. We understand that you were saying that it was always Romeo and Juliet, according to you.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, you want to expand on incident of what was happening or done by Senzo that was wrong to Kelly. why didn't you put it in the record that was the case? Why did you portray this
They were very
good picture
all the time?
Oh yes,
That's
that
what
goes to
happened
her.
with Romeo and Juliet. They loved each other very much. The only problem was the families and the families they were coming from were not getting along. But they got along. Okay. So now you are telling us that they got along like Romeo and Juliet. Okay, and that is like, okay. During that period, was it a Romeo and Juliet relationship that you referred to in the interview? And then Zandi now changed. She's saying that just like I said, in all relationships, there are ups and downs. But I know they were in love. There were no ups and downs in Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet were infatuated with each other at all the times. In fact, they were willing to die.
And I have a problem with
To die. To
I
be
have
together.
a problem with the strategy that is being ignored here of Miss Lorraine coming from a point of emphasizing something that she never stated. Do you understand? She would come, just like I said, you can come on that angle after you have sold us a facade of Romeo and Juliet, and then you come just like I said. Just like
There are ups and
you
downs
said,
now.
what, ma'am? Because you didn't specify that part. What exactly did you say?
Exactly. So during the period of 2013, Zandi was using a Nokia N8, and she confirmed even the cell phone number. And she also confirmed Kelly's cell phone number that she was using at the time. Then Baloyi objected to Kelly's number being made public.
That's the thing.
But the judges asked if they are still using the same numbers. I mean, it's 9 years later, so it turns out the numbers are not fresh anymore.
I can almost I don't know. I can bet my last cent they're not using those numbers.
No, they're not. They
And
changed
it's
them.
not probably something that started yesterday. It probably started the same year.
Yes, on that year, they just had to get rid of those phones and start afresh, allegedly.
You know.
But then, for me, it's like you're listening to Zandi's number being called out. You're listening to Chiko Twalasan, Longwe Talasan's numbers being called out. And you only choose to get up and object when Kelly Khumalo's numbers are being mentioned. I found that very...
There is a pattern in that.
I found it very suspicious.
Because again, you remember that the story of Kelly Khumalo's involvement in the whole situation, the whole circus that was happening in that room, is such that she runs away and then she comes back as to when she will choose, as to how she portrays that.
Okay.
You know, it's a story of Kelly being away all the time, and the same thing that Balo is doing in when the number of Kelly is being mentioned,
I'm like,
and then all of a sudden,
jump.
objection, my lord.
I'm like, that's very suspicious. Then an affidavit that was compiled by Colonel Stein, an analyst and investigative officer. That is where Lorraine asked Khumalo to speak a little bit louder because she couldn't hear him. Now the statements were coming in, girl. Here's the statements. Then Khumalo said the interpreter has to be the one to hear him first. I think he was trying to call out the disrespect because it sounds like Lorraine, for some reason, she has that spirit of undermining them, and I'm curious.
And from the point of neutrality, the judge lets everything happens. It's not that he's letting it happen because he's waiting for someone who's going to come and challenge that.
Because you could even see that as Khumalo raised his point to say that the interpreter is the one that needs to hear me first. And then the judge is like, okay. He wants to move on. The judge honestly wants to move. He doesn't want to stay. So that statement said, an SMS received by Zandi, Nokia N8 sent by Kelly Khumalo. The judge asked for the state to hand over Lorraine a copy of the statement. So Advocate Mshololo even offered hers so that there'll be movement, you understand? So Khumalo read an SMS sent on Zandi's phone, and it says, and I quote, Senzo's mom is talking to every radio station in Durban, telling how it will be my fault if she dies of a heart attack. Can you believe it? This woman. And it was sent on the 11th of October 2013 at 9:43:59.
And again, that is Emily's acting. It might have been Senzo's mom is telling every obvious people read everything.
This woman.
But guys, please like the video. Please like the video.
I'm just trying to imagine how she was texting that to this woman. At that time, there is a backstory. There is a time when she did conduct radio interviews.
Yes.
She wasn't happy about the relationship with Kelly no Senzo.
Yes, so you would expect a bit of resistance, hence your reading. So let's like the video and subscribe for those who are not subscribed. And if you have a problem with subscribing, guys, please let us know. We are available. We will go through the whole process on WhatsApp anytime. Even now, you can maybe pose questions. They will help you. We have people who are subscribed here. I got someone who had a problem with chatting. I think I'm hoping that is sorted now.
And if it's not sorted, please come back.
Yes.
To ask. We'll help you.
We have time for that.
So then they asked her, can you please tell the court what was happening when Kelly Khumalo sent you that SMS? And Zandi doesn't remember well, but all she knows is that sisters talk. If something is bothering the other, they tell the other one.
Yes.
Then they asked her, did you respond to the SMS? And she says she can't remember. So Mnisi then read another SMS sent to Zandi by Kelly. And it says, and I quote.
Is it Mnisi or Black Mamba?
No, it's not Mnisi. My apologies. It's Khumalo.
Yes.
Black Mamba. It's Khumalo. It said, and I quote, I regret everything. I wish I didn't allow Senzo into my life. Look at all the mess it has gotten us into. It's all his lies now affecting all of us.
Isn't it funny how it's not her fault? It's not
fault.
Anybody's fault. It's Senzo's fault.
She regretted.
And the man is not here to defend himself.
This is in 2013, November. This is like a couple of months before the 26th of October, 2014. And she's saying that she's regretting. I regret everything. I wish I didn't allow Senzo into my life. Look at all this mess he has gotten us into. It's all his lies now affecting all of us. Then why didn't you break up with him?
Just right away. Do that.
Cut him off.
You know,
if he's this bad, if it is this bad, then why didn't you just say
it's over?
So what was happening?
You could have saved us a lot of headache.
What was happening when that SMS was sent? And then Zandi said she's not certain about that. What mess was Kelly referring to? And then Zandi said Senzo was not honest. He would be with Kelly. At times he would be with Mandisa. Oh my God. You guys, he was a married man. What married man is honest? That cheats on their wife. Hey, Batumba. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just baffled. I'm like, what married man who cheats on his wife? Do you expect honesty from such?
You accept someone who cheats, Emil. I think that's the angle that you want to say. And then you say you expect honesty from that person in terms of relationship. It is kind of unfair and so selfish in a sense, because you entering in that situationship, you should accept everything that comes with that situationship.
Wanyiwa, you are in a love triangle and you know it.
And if you makwapen, you remain silent. Shouldn't be making headways.
You wanna be the wife. Well, she said
Hence,
Senzo was not honest.
You would even go as further as saying your sister that there was a lobola coming or something like that.
Senzo was not honest. He would be with Kelly, and at times he would be with Mandisa. And when he was with Kelly, he would say this. And when he was with Mandisa, he would say something else. That's what married men who cheat on their wives do, by the way.
Exactly.
Then an SMS from Kelly to Zandi on the 31st of October 2013. Another SMS says, yo, guys, the darkness that is in these SMSs in a sense of emotions, it's very... it's heavy. It's like, girl, if you felt like this, why didn't you end this relationship? Because clearly it was not good for your mental health. She says, and I quote, I'm emotionally drained. I sometimes feel like Senzo brought a dark cloud in my life. And I can almost hate myself for not succeeding in getting rid of him via SMS. And the SMS would not go. So it means that the SMS didn't. Batung. I feel like God.
So what happened? You send an SMS without airtime. It won't go. You need to have airtime to send an SMS. And if you mean to...
dark cloud. I'm like, girl, this was too much for your mental health. That dark cloud. No. It was too much. Then she says, I feel like God is deliberately sabotaging me by keeping this man in my life. Guys, these SMSs ziyahlebisa.
Yeah, they have that thing of they need the special attention. Like really, they doesn't sound right.
Oof.
When you hear them.
Well, asked to comment on this, Zandi said that she doesn't know what was happening at the time. It was back and forth between the three of them. But now, she knows that Kelly loved Senzo and Senzo loved Kelly. Like I say, there were good days and there were bad days. So it didn't sit well with Kelly that Senzo was not honest. So clearly from the SMSs, it suggests that she did not love him anymore. This is Khumalo. And the judge said, how can you say that? Then Khumalo had to withdraw his statement.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make those mistakes on purpose. Come on, it's okay to be called out now and then.
Then Baloi said that he wanted the date to be put on record as well, that the SMS was sent on the 31st of December 2013, 11:24:31 a.m. So it's clear that it was way before the incident, right? But my question is, you felt this dark cloud. You felt all of this like God was sabotaging you by bringing you this man in your life. You felt all of that. A couple of months, it would say 9 or 10 months prior. And you still couldn't say, cut. I can't do this. You know? So would you suggest that the relationship was sour, asking Khumalo? And Zandi said, like I explained, there are good days and bad days, just like any other relationship in the world. So it was no longer Romeo and Juliet who were happy all the time. They wanted to be together. In another SMS, Kelly to Zandi on the 31st of December 2013, and I quote, it said, all I can do and hope and pray that each day I'm getting close to me, it's getting close the day of me being free from him. So what did you understand from the content of the SMS Zandi's being asked now? From what she knows, when my sister loves someone, that's what she said. When my sister loves someone, she loves them loudly and with everything. And she has. So she loves them loudly with everything she has. And the way Senzo was dishonest, she would tell me that her heart was hurt and she might as well leave. But at the time, she loved him. So Khumalo then asked, what did you understand from this part of the SMS, which read, being free from him? Then Zandi said to let go of the love she had for him. Khumalo then asked to let go of the relationship. Zandi then said that I wouldn't be able to explain. Khumalo confirmed Longwe's number. Then Zandi said that she doesn't remember Longwe's number. Why didn't Advocate Baloyi object to this repeating of confirming Longwe's numbers?
Because he failed when he was trying to object. He
So
failed.
since they are no longer in good terms with the person and no longer in a relationship. So there's another statement from Colonel Stein, who downloaded the SMSes between her number and that of Longwe Twala's number. So there's a separate affidavit where Colonel Stein handed in exhibits.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now at this stage, I'm starting to feel that, you know what, Lorraine is coming down. Ngoba statements are coming through. There's an SMS between Zandile Khumalo and Longwe Twala. And then Khumalo asked, can you tell this court before you met Longwe in the afternoon of 26th of October 2014, when last had you met him? And then Zandile said the previous day. So where had you met him? At Kelly's place in Malberton. On Sunday, the 26th of October, did you communicate with Longwe? That's the day of the incident. And Zandi says, yes, I talked to him, but because I was busy on that day, I couldn't answer my phone. I was performing on stage, or that I couldn't hear my phone. So Khumalo asked, how did you communicate with him? Was it SMS or phone calls? And Zandi said both. Sometimes I would phone, sometimes I would SMS, but sometimes he would phone or SMS. So I don't know which you are specifically referring to. So Khumalo said that he's referring to Sunday, the 26th of October, 2014, before he arrived at their home. So Zandi then said both. So Zandi saying that on that day, Longwe was communicating with her both telephonically, as in phone calls and SMS.
Yeah.
So Khumalo then said, you said he arrived in the afternoon between 6 and 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
Then Zandi said, I said earlier, I'm not certain of the time. At the time, I went to fetch him outside. So Khumalo asked, was the sun already set or was it about to? It was about to set because they were able to see without the street lights being on.
Which is a bit different, isn't it?
Maybe it's because it's the summertime.
From De Novo.
Oh, from De Novo. Yeah,
Yes.
from De Novo it was.
It was a
Yeah.
bit dark, yes.
So Khumalo then said, with the assistance of the sun, you were able to estimate that it could have been between 6 and 6:30 p.m. Then Zandi said, yes. Was it an arrangement or was it a coincidence? Did he tell you that he was going to come? Then Zandi said in the morning it was not arranged or planned. As they were communicating, she told him that Kelly was at home with Senzo and their mom was about to cook lunch so they could also come. So at what time?
Now, I want you to understand why that question was important.
Why?
The question of what is an intruder, in a sense, according to a definition, what is an intruder?
What is an intruder, Mr. Anonymous?
I will find it for you. But in a nutshell, an intruder is an uninvited guest. So it could have, in your arguments, in any argument, if Longwe was not invited, he could have been an intruder.
Confirmation of the invitation, please.
Do you understand? That is an intruder, in a sense. That's why anyone could have been an intruder, not my client. Anyone can be an intruder. Longwe, who, if he was never invited, could have been an intruder. So you need to establish if there was that invitation, indeed, as it is put in a statement. So that SMS, those SMSes, are they confirming that they have access to these SMSes? Are they saying that that was an invitation, or it was I'm by the gate?
I'm by the gate.
And that, exactly that, if there was no invitation, that could have been an intruder.
So at what time did the two intruders arrive? And then Zandi said around 8 p.m. Did you say did you not say that it was 7 to 8 in the evening? Zandi said, no, my statement says 8. Was it his first time visiting you at home? Then Zandi said he once sneaked him in when their mother was not home, honey. Was he alone when he arrived on the 26th? And then Zandi said he was alone. So, wait a minute. If he was snuck in before, he definitely knew where to find Zandi.
Without having to call or having to inform. Yes.
Think about that.
Right there, there was that establishing of barging in without being invited, which in turn can turn you into an intruder.
Think about it. I mean, if he's been snuck in before, in my experience of dating or dating when you are younger, the moment you bring a guy home, wamlethe ekhaya, they will pitch up unannounced on many occasions. I could be lying, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. They will surprise you with surprise visits. I'm outside. I'm outside. Hey. So Khumalo said if one was to estimate, if Longwe arrived around 6 and the two intruders arrived around 8, that would mean Longwe was there for about 2 hours before the intruders arrived. And then Zandi said, like I said, I'm not certain about the time estimations. Khumalo said, but my estimations are based on what you said. And then Zandi said, as you say, they are your estimations, not mine. Khumalo then asked, you could do that as well. Then Zandi said, like I said, estimation of time is something I'm not good at. As you say, are the ones doing the calculations. You calculate. Like I said, I hated maths. So Khumalo then said, I calculated for you. That is what you are saying, not me. This is Zandi responding. Then Advocate Baloyi objected, and the judge said it's fine to have an estimation of 2 hours. Then the SMS from Longwe on the 26th of October at 4:57:36 p.m.
You see what
I'm outside.
Yeah, you see what that thing of 2 hours does. It does not give back after taking. You see the objections of Baloyi. Whether they are legit or not, if they are successful, they do not give you back the time to argue. Hence, the judge must find the balance, as we have seen in most of the time with this one in particular, finding that balance. Because after that, how are we going to be able to, how are we going to be able to actually buy back that time? Because you want to ask Lorraine questions. Lorraine is going to be going. So when Lorraine is gone and you find out that +2 thing was bogus.
Exactly. Then what?
And then what?
And then it's on the record. How do you come back?
How do you come back from that? You could have gotten a lot of information. I don't understand this issue of +ing 2 hours. I happen to also work with data, and I've worked with data a lot. I've never seen timestamp more so. This is what we call a date time stamp, because this is date that comes with the timestamp. So you'll find that it's November 2023. It's July 2023, and then there's time of the event happening. So why do you need to plus
2 hours?
2 hours.
I also found that strange.
Where is that 2 hours coming from?
That objection.
Are you plusing it because when
It takes you to 6
when you
Pella when you
store
plus it.
when you store it just doesn't make sense. This is a system. You are asked to use SQL, which is, those who would know, it's a SQL. You go pull data, email. When you pull that data, I'm telling you, most of that data has timestamp, and these SMSes are timestamp. Any person probably who works at Vodacom as a data scientist or whatsoever, when they pull that, they would see exactly that.
The date the SMS was sent and received.
Hey, there is
Why
no logic.
doesn't that
There
one
is
have
no
that?
logic in adding
What is this
timestamp
plus 2 hours now?
with that plus 2 hours. There's no logic.
I found it also very questionable.
I've never seen databases that distort information when you date them back. Basically, what you are saying is that when the servers of whatever, whether it's MTN, when they save data, they save it and they change time. There is no logic in that, and this man is objecting like he's some data scientist or whatever.
Like, I was also shocked at that, so much so that they even had to call. They're saying they're gonna call Colonel Steyn as a witness to come and confirm what is going on. And he went to the back of the page.
Even that colonel must
plus
explain.
2 hours.
He must explain as to what.
Did he explain to Baloyi? Is that how it went?
Look at it this way: the time, the date, Emil, is correct. How on earth, on that date time stamp, can the date be correct and time be wrong?
I don't know.
Like, explain that to me.
No,
in one
must
column,
explain.
in one column where you save date timestamp, because this thing is saved in one column, you find it's long, like it's date timestamp. So normally, if you only want to get date out of that, you cast that date, you cast it as date, and then you say cast as date. As you say cast as date, it cuts the time. So if you want time, you say cast it as time. So there's that function in a SQL, and it gives you time of that thing happening at that time. It removes date. So how can one in the same column, date is correct?
Yes.
And then time, you don't. With date, why don't we add 2 plus 2 on the date?
Well, it could be that it's some form of an annexure, because what I picked up is that Baloyi took it from the back of the page. So an annexure doesn't necessarily mean that now you must calculate yourself and go add 2 hours. It means that it has already been done on what you are seeing. I mean, when I used to study mathematically orientated modules,
Yes.
you'd find that there's an annexure at the back that kind of explains to you how it happened or how it came to that conclusion.
Yes.
So it looks
Yes.
like Baloyi took something like that.
It could have been that the calculations have already been made. So to arrive to that, they have already arrived to the correct
Not
answer.
that you must
but
do
they
them yourself.
they are showing you the know-how they reached that base.
Exactly. Ufunani wena Baloyi kuleya nto leya ngoba wena you're not a cell phone expert. What are you doing there? Because that's none of your business. What Colonel Steyn has presented to you on that document
Should be finalized.
I
They
don't
know that
understand.
you are a lawyer. Lawyers don't study maths.
No, they don't study
They don't
maths.
have maths.
They wouldn't expect you
They don't
to
have
add
computer
2
science.
hours.
Yes.
They wouldn't expect you to do that. So he was a very attempt to debunk the time.
Time wasting. And then not only time wasting, distorting how you are going to question the person.
And interrupting the flow of
Yes.
the defense, because he was going somewhere with this time thing, and then you stopped it from happening. So yeah, she confirmed that she did receive the SMS, but also didn't want to talk about the time. Well, moving on, they said, I put it to you that Longwe had spent about 3 hours before the 2 intruders arrived. You told the court that the intruder arrived at 8 o'clock. Then Baloyi objected again and said that it's an unfair question based on his calculations that there was plus 2 hours added on that
Exactly, you see?
thingy.
It
And then
disturbs the whole thing.
It disturbed the whole thing. So now he had to move to another a part that he had planned of his cross-examination.
And if Baloyi is wrong,
what happens? What are the consequences?
how is it gonna pay back
That disturbance.
That disturbance.
That is the question. Because what I know is that lawyers are not given statements to do calculations. What is presented on the document is as what they found. They don't expect you to be going around multiplying, adding, subtracting 2 hours.
I see here again, Jabu's coming on the issue of defending Senzo being wrong, throwing Senzo under the bus. I don't know who's this Jab, but I'm going to say it. You cannot come as a concubine and claim that you were lied at. You cannot do that. You do not have the right to say that you were lied at. You do not.
Once you find out that you are the second, that you are the side chick, either you accept that role or you leave, Mtagabao. Don't be stressing yourself thinking that you are going to bulldoozle the first wife.
Because what, you are beautiful when you will eat it.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
I'm sorry, but we've had
many people fall into that trap of thinking that just because I don't have kids or whatsoever,
I'm more
beautiful than...
Or it's Tofusiku 10.
No. We've since seen that.
It doesn't work.
The reason why we are here.
If this case itself doesn't show you that doesn't work, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
And then you come here, you defend a concubine. Kelly was a concubine.
Accept it, Mtagabao.
Accept that.
And move on.
He was a concubine. And not a hidden one. Not a hidden one by the looks of things. Because even the mother knew about it.
Yes.
She was a concubine.
Just accept it, Mtagama. We know you love her. But
whether she decided to bake on top of being a concubine.
It is what it is.
And have a kid. Mm-hmm. That's her story.
That's her story. She owns her truth.
As you should always say, by the way.
She owns
Let's continue, amen.
So, and then the advocate Khumalo said, please describe Longwe. Then Zandi said he's taller than her. He's of average height. And then they asked her, what's your height? And she said she hasn't measured herself. So how's he built? Ati defined. No fat in his body. Has little muscles. More like in the middle.
That's where, I don't know, man. That's where I felt like she was explaining Longwe just right there.
Complexion, brown. Neither dark or light. Brown. Khumalo then asked, did he wear a hat? Zandi said he loved caps, and most of the time his caps would face backwards. Khumalo then asked, did he have a hairstyle? No, he had a bald head, so he would cut this bald head on the sides. Does he have a bald head though? This bald head situation.
The old pictures that I've been seeing on the social media, she's wearing a sponge. Is that head? Yeah, he's wearing a sponge. And I saw dreads. Yes, I think the issue of caps was something of recent after this whole situation. I don't know, but people would have a different view. But that's for me. That's what I see.
And then Zandi, they asked her, did he have dreadlocks? Zandi said no. Can you describe his facials? She said he had facial hairs, dimples, full eyebrows, many and full eyelashes. His eyes, small like China, but not much, like a Chinese man, but not exactly.
That is longer now.
Yes, that's long where he has Chinese eyes now. Beard, had facial hairs. He would shave them depending on how he feels. So they asked her, would he trim them in his upper lip? Then Zandi said no. All she knows is that he would only leave the bottom part of the chin while he was shaving. So 3 sworn statements made about the incident. Zandi said that she could only remember 2 of them. So the state prosecutor gave 3 sworn statements. The first one was done on the 27th of October 2014 at 2 o'clock. You see why I had an issue with this whole waiting for the police to come and fetch you while the police said in the morning, please come. The statement, Zandi, was written at 2 o'clock, guys. 2 o'clock the following day. Keep that in mind. And then the second one on the 6th of November 2014 at 1300 hours. Then the last one on the 10th of February 2018 at 20:18 p.m. So she could only remember 2 according to her. She denied the other one. She doesn't remember the other one. She could only remember the 2. Then there was a long adjournment, and then as they come back from the adjournment, they started to focus more on those statements. So disposed by Zandile Khumalo, 1430 adjournment. The statement was obtained by Detective Sergeant Sibonelo Mkhize at Vosloorus Police Station. Khumalo on the 27th of October 2014. How did you become aware or to go to the police station to write a statement? Then Zandi now says that the police came to fetch them at their home and said that they would fetch them. So she's saying that she's now changing what she said. She said that the police told them to go to the police station in the morning. But now she's saying, no, the police said that they would fetch her. It's almost as if, Mr. Anonymous, she was listening to you. It's almost as if, I'm like, how? So now she's saying that the police said that they would fetch them. Okay? And because they said that they could see that they were disturbed. So the police waited all the way until 2 o'clock Mtagaba to go fetch Zandile. I say, PS, this is making you look very bad.
Enough time to...
Don't you want the statements while the memory is still fresh from the incident?
Only when it's you, Emily. If they were to fetch you, they would fetch you. I've seen people
write statements in tears.
A classical example is what these accused are claiming, that they signed with blood.
In pain, with blood.
Hey.
And I had to see the copies of some of those statements because apparently before, Titi Tobani had alleged that they have blood stains. So we are still waiting to see. That's why they're blocking the exhibits, I guess. Allegedly. So Khumalo then said, in which language was the statement obtained? And then Zandi said, as I'm looking here, it's in English, but I'm sure you saw with the interview when I talk, I mix English and Zulu. So on completion of the statement, you signed it. And then she says, in trusting the law, I signed it. Khumalo then asks, is the signature at the bottom of the page yours? She said, yes. And was the statement read back to you? And she said, I don't remember well. Do you remember why you had to sign the bottom of each page? And she said, I don't have certainty. Was it explained to you? Then she said, what I believed it was that it's a tradition, just like in the banks when you want a bank card and certain paperwork, they tell you to sign it or initial. So you just sign things when a girl, a whole artist, a whole musician, a whole independent artist goes around just signing anything and everything just because.
Let me just take time to look at Behad, or I think it's Behad, Khatid. You're saying that, but guys, I don't think Longwet does that, or I think you wanted to say he did that, or whatever that you're referring to. If it was him, Tumelo and Mtogo, they could tell the truth. Those two are not friends too long. Why do they have to hide and put them into trouble? Okay, I just have one thing for you. You know, it's a good thing that you ask such questions. There is a book that the documentary sort of referred to, where Mtogo said when Longwe entered, it was like the angel of death had entered. And I don't know. when he entered, you see the contradiction of statements, and then he went on to testify before Tinovu that he was outside. But yet, in that book, he said when he entered, it was the angel of death that has entered.
Why are you so convinced?
So we are just it's always good to give everything, because the thing is, when you sit down and research, that's where you see a bit of contradicting statements and all that. And it's always good if you are confused. So we are going to give you that. And go watch the documentary if you are also confused. The documentary is going to tell you something else.
Unravel everything.
The author of that book is there on that documentary. Then that's when you're going to now have, wow, what friends are for type of thing. Yes.
We need to zoom in, look clearly. Some things cannot be said. You just have to go look.
We're not going to be saying this here. No.
Then Khumalo then said, by you signing the statement, you agree that you, with what was written there, and that it is binding to your conscience. And she said, I hear you. And the defense, Khumalo said the defense is going to request that the witness, Detective Sergeant Sibonelo Mkhize, be called, since you are saying that you cannot remember whether the statement was read back to you. Then Zandi said that would be nice. I'd be happy about that. So Khumalo now went to another statement made by Zandi on the 6th of November 2014 at 1 o'clock, obtained by Detective Sergeant Boy Steve Takule at 231 Francis Bart Street in Pretoria. So documented in English. They asked her what language she used. She said she mixes as usual, and she said she only remembers two statements. The first one was the 27th of October. The second one was the 10th of February 2018. So the 27th of October 2014 was immediately after the incident, and the 10th of February 2018, that's around 2 years ago. And when I really think about it, this 2018 interrogation / questioning / that happened in Pretoria, but that's a story for another day. So Khumalo then asked, is the signature, is it yours? And then she said she could not recall. And then Khumalo said, is that your statement? Then Khumalo said, it might mean it happened, but I don't recall. Then the 10th of February 2018, it was around 20:18 p.m. Lieutenant Colonel N.J. Stole at Vosloorus also wrote a statement for her or with her, and then she said, like I said, sometimes it's in English, sometimes it's in Zulu. She interchanges when she speaks, like she did in the interview, like she said. So they also asked, is that her signature? She confirmed the signature, and then on that statement it said, and I quote, Togo, Kelly and Senzo left Soweto to Mtogo's place at Spruit to change his clothes. So now they were interrogating her about that aspect of saying that she didn't know what they were going to do at Mtogo's place. But she saw Mtogo coming out changing clothes. But on the statement, she spoke as if she knows for sure that they knew that Mtogo was going to change clothes. And that was where the argument centered around. What did you think about that?
And then she says she was summarizing.
She says she was summarizing, yes.
What did I think about that?
What did you think about that? I'm very interested.
I think there's truth between the lines. That's what I thought. When I heard that, I was like, just right there, somewhere around. If you use the squeeze theorem, if you remember it in mathematics, you would get a truth. You know, there's a bit of truth because there's a theory this side and the other one this side, and then in between there's truth.
And then Khumalo read another part, and I quote, while we were watching soccer, Kelly and Senzo walked to the spaza shop to buy mad lemon and soup. Now begui soup pela that was mentioned, the mad lemon was gone. Then after 2 minutes, they came back. So they went to the spaza shop. They came back after 2 minutes. My understanding was that you went out to meet Longwe during that time. Now, this is the cross-examination of Khumalo. So my understanding is that you went out to meet Longwe when they were going to the spaza shop. What you wrote there is it in line with your evidence in chief? Then Khumalo said, yes, according to me, it is in line. Then Khumalo said, I don't agree. Then she said, as we were watching soccer, another part of the statement, as we were watching soccer, Tumelo went out, smoked outside, and the house, and he was joined by Mtogo, Senzo, and Kelly. They stood outside and they chatted. Zandi then answered or responded by saying, what I want to explain here is that when you tell someone something about what happened and how it happened, sometimes you tend to summarize it without saying the details. But now that I have a chance in court, that is why I was getting into the details. So Khumalo then said, I put it to you that your evidence in chief is in contrast to the statement. Then Khumalo said she disagrees. They asked her in what respect. What I saw is what I came to court to testify. And what I said in court aligns with what is written here. But it does not. It does. It does not. First of all, going to the spaza for 2 minutes, you left out the mad lemon. In court, you didn't mention the mad lemon. And then another thing that was also in contradiction is the fact that Senzo and Kelly chatted with Tumelo Mtogo outside, which is something you didn't mention. So even though some details are not clear, but that is why I'm here in court to elaborate. It seems like your statements are more elaborate than what you're saying in court, in my opinion. So Khumalo said in your statement, Senzo was fighting or tussling with a man with a gun. You said you hit one of the suspects with a crutch on the head. And then she says, I was standing next to Tumelo at the moment. I grabbed his walking stick and he hit the suspect on the head. You told this court in your evidence in chief that you could not hit because you were shot. Remember that? Remember that? So persons in between you and the intruder. Yes, I said that. That is Lorraine confirming. When I emphasize on one word that is missing from this is try. So now she's saying
She's editing
that
right
the
there.
statement is wrong. The statement says she hit the second intruder with the crutches. Or was it the first intruder? And then now she's saying that in court, the statement is missing the word I tried to hit. Listen to Lorraine fixing her statements in court.
That's editing right there in progress. I see Lindoguhle Pilan. I'm a full-time stack developer. I do website in PHP, lately Laravel. I have witnessed that data can be late. I have used date timestamp and changed to carbon date, but still would get date timestamp late. But even if that was the case, there's a solution. Since you have an answer of the date is always late by 8 minutes, so what do? You correct that data when it comes through, because if you are going to use that data for a certain thing and time is of importance in that case, you are going to correct that. We are going to say that if that date comes in late, 30 minutes late, then always minus that 30 minutes to get the correct time. So you're not going to save it wrong like that.
So
how are you going to analyze?
When you give it to the next person that's supposed to use it, you give it to them and tell them to add 30 minutes.
Or even your developers from the system. Because remember, time is important. We are working with SMS here. This is Vodacom, this is MTN. Time is important. So what we are going to do when we are saving that data, we are going to tell it to do that. We are going to sort of have a formula where it corrects that. Why are you going to save data in a wrong
maybe
timestamp?
Because this is government.
Well, how do you know it's government? Cell phone is private.
Cell phone is private
And
company. Okay, I'm judging. Side I, side I. What is going on? Why are you giving advocate Maloi manna from heaven?
Imagine
Side I,
what is important about saving data is that you are going to use it. You are going to analyze it. So how are you going to analyze the call influx, for example, that are happening at a certain particular time, knowing that your data is late by 30 minutes? So everything that you'll be analyzing will be wrong. So you're going to fight to save that data in a correct way. You're going to say if it's 30 minutes late because maybe your server is not a production server or whatever reason, it's a backup server. You are going to say, when you save this data, minus that 30 minutes because I don't need that 30 minutes. It's wrong. It's logic.
Okay, it looks like Colonel Steyn that was not done. So he must come and clarify. So another part of the statement, and I quote, the first gunshot went and hit the kitchen door, and the other shot went and hit the floor, and then ran to the bathroom. I then ran to the bathroom, and Tumelo went to my mother's bedroom. So Khumalo asked, remember that you told the court that there was one shot that was fired in your presence and the one that hit the floor, and the 2 shots were fired while you were in the bathroom. Do you confirm that? Then Zandi said, I remember that, but that is not what your statement is saying. One shot in your presence was fired and towards the direction of the door. Then Zandi said, I think when I made the statement, I was mixing with the observation. And then coming back, or when I was coming back from the hospital. So she's saying when she made the statement, she mixed the seeing when she came back from the hospital and when. But you did, Lauren, you said that one spark, you even spoke about a spark. After you had the spark, you ran to the bathroom. From the bathroom, you had 2 shots. Now you are.
It changes. And Mr. Mamba there is asked about where is he going with this question, and it's not to discourage you. It is to guide you, I think, from the judge.
Yeah, he did ask the
All
judge.
that man wanted was, I'm asking this to prove that one, there was no intruder, and this theory could have been fabricated or whatsoever. According to me, my client was not there. And that was your answer. Then you continue with your line of questioning. But it sort of became difficult to answer that question for all of them, actually. It's not even Khumalo, it's everyone.
They don't understand what the judge is trying to say. They feel like they're being attacked. But honestly, I feel like you should listen to him. Because what he's saying is that asking about these nitty-gritties and whatnot is just going to be a waste of time. The case might take even longer than expected. Because, okay, she's still going to be denying the shots, whether the shots were fired, the fired were shots, the squatting, it's a lot. So it's like you're dancing around, but you're not going anywhere. You're not putting it. I put it to you that.
Don't put it to us, though.
Where's Advocate Titi Toban? When you need
this judge is this judge Tifo and maybe even Titi. They were made in heaven, match made in heaven, because this judge is actually looking for that. If you go Google what Tifo said, what made Tifo be an enemy for everyone is that he came with a theory that was debunking this whole thing, this whole intruder. And this judge is looking for that. Someone who's going to say, my client was not there.
Yes.
In fact, you are not telling the truth by saying that there was an intruder. It is giving you, he's saying direction. You
need to exonerate your clients from the scene. You need to take them out of the scene. You need to confirm whether they are the ones who did the incident or not. And that is what is missing.
Exactly.
You can cross-examine, you can dribble Lorraine as much as you want, but if
why?
You do not
the
conclude...
question is why, after debunking, after discrediting Lorraine, because what you are saying is that my client was not there. There was no intruder there, for example. You know, that's what you're saying. So, hence you were hearing guns when you were in a bathroom, also hearing them when you were in a kitchen twice. Same thing. You are contradicting yourself because there was no intruder there. You know, when after creating that contradiction, put something on top of it.
To say, I put it to you that, there was no lunch that happened or there was no intruders that came into the house. Put it! Don't be afraid.
And I'm still now, after all this, do we still think TT? Do we still think
Advocate
Tifo mediocre, UNISA and what lawyers
that's what
as they were saying on Twitter and whatnot.
Social
Here is a
media
judge.
lawyers.
Here's a judge is coming and saying, "This is what I want." You know, sometimes it's not about you being a mediocre. In general, even in life, it's about where you are. Where are you looking for what you are looking for? Is it the right place at the right time with the right people? Yes or no? Are you applying law in a correct environment? Because you cannot apply law in a wrong environment and expect to get the outcomes that you normally get in a court that is functioning properly.
How did you feel about Advocate Mshololo rising to say, well, excluding number 5, my lord, she's saying she's going to nail it?
I've always said that Mshololo, for me, is that one when you are given homework to go work in groups, who comes with the whole assignment done. And then you get marks. Because if she fails, you fail also.
She's not much of a team player. Why do you have to do that? But Mshololo, it's like, not me, not
There was no need to say not me. Just keep quiet. You haven't started. It's okay. let those ones get the whipping. You know, let the judge whip those ones, and then
you take notes. You
take
know
note.
that when you
because the more you stand up and make noise, you are going to also
into the same.
end up making mistakes, other mistakes.
Because even the last time, didn't the same thing happen where we were all underwhelmed with her cross-examination?
Exactly.
We were like, oh, Advocate Mshololo, what is going on?
Exactly.
Anti-climax.
Exactly.
We were so shocked that we were not expecting you to be that gentle.
You know, it's like having that Messi in a bench, but imagine that Messi that is arrogant.
Just
and then
take notes.
he comes in,
Listen
and
to the judge, and
then
what
they
the judge
mark
is
you
saying.
out of the game.
Then you go and you fix your cross-examination. You work on it. You have Saturday and Sunday.
What
Monday, I want you to do the right thing.
What Mshololo is not noticing is that sometimes learning is important. As much as you could be an advocate and a senior or whatnot, but learning does not end, even for the judge himself. You know, that's why you always refer to cases that have passed and that have dealt with certain situations that you have not dealt with.
Yes.
Because learning in that faculty of law is always welcome.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And there is another thing, perhaps, that if they do not have in law, that they should add, is studying human behavior.
Yes.
That would help you, because what is happening is the judge is almost giving you a memo of what kind of a judge he is. And you still approach that judge with the same attitude that you use on Maumela.
Yes.
You probably are most likely going to fail.
And at some point, I felt like Emanuela condemned these defense counsels.
And yes,
they are so timid. Even Khumalo, the way he would question, he would look at the judge as if he's waiting for him to say something. And
even
I'm like,
Ramosipe, everyone, because they have been treated by as a different judge, and then now someone who lets everything flow. It's like that thing, Emilio, of there is that thing in football that we call Italian referees and other referees from England and whatsoever. Italian referees are known for, in Champions League, for letting the game flow. They don't disturb it. So if they kick you and they feel that kick was not enough for you to fall, they don't stop the game. They let the game flow.
Yes.
So because you are used to falling in England or you are used to falling in Spain, then your team would lose.
Yes.
Because you need to adjust to a situation. This one is an Italian referee. This judge, I would almost put this judge as an Italian referee who let everything flow. He would intervene where he needs to intervene.
Needed, yes.
He is mostly listening, doing the listening,
and he's very attentive. She's a sharp listener.
Yeah.
That's the best judge like you can ever have. So just get out of your shells. This is no longer Maumela's court. It is a different presiding officer. You guys need to get your confidence, and you guys need to nail this thing and finish it properly. Because I'm like, imagine you're sitting there and all of this cross-examination, all of these contradictions you've discovered, and you can't simply put a statement to say, my client, at the end of your argument, my client was at so on the day of the incident
And
that this happened.
And if for whatever reason you felt too close to Mr. Vaseline, move out of that shell, because perhaps that's another thing that could stop you from being yourself and expressing yourself as the lawyer that you are. I believe all these lawyers are good. But
one thing I will say, when you hear Baloyi quiet and not objecting much, you are not doing a good job.
Because you are Buddha.
You are not proving your client's case.
Yes.
Gumele object every 5 minutes.
Because as I said, if you study the behavior of that man, it's all about I'll kick even if I'm down.
Yes.
You know that person, even if you have knocked them off.
Don't be afraid of his objections.
They will still kick even when they are down. But the fact that they are kicking, it does not mean that they are winning. It means maybe that you are actually on top of them.
So when you hear him quiet, be very worried. That's all I'm going to say. Mr. Anonymous, I think we should open the lines.
Yeah, the lines are open.
You guys can tell us what you thought of today's proceedings. The lines are now open. You can use the number that's scrolling down below the screen. And please like the video. I'm begging for likes.
Yeah, before we take the calls, Emilia, can we have the likes? I see that we're on 200.
I'm begging for likes.
700
last night's live stream did not get 1,000 likes. It didn't.
And we have like 767 people. At some point we had 800.
We had the highest number.
Please, guys, even now, can we have the likes? And then, yes, the calls, will let them come in as usual, and you'll express your grievances and whatnot, and where you need to, where maybe the defense and everyone else need to go. But in my own humble opinion, if you learn more if you're quiet. That's my strategy. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong.
No,
but
you're right.
You learn more if you're quiet,
and
you become a better person. But if you always resist and try to prove that you probably are, you are most likely gonna be doomed.
And vele, there were no disputes. Ramusipili came in. Ramusipili did not dispute anything. That the intruders, there were no intruders in the house. Or even if there were intruders, my clients or any of the intruders that you say were there are not in this court today. Something like that, Yabo. And I felt like, man, go shot us something. I didn't know how to describe it. But then when Advocate Mnisi finished the way he finished, I'm like, man, gia shota manla. Something is missing. Something is missing, guys. Konto shotayo. Angazi ni koto konto shotayo la. Ya shota. And then I had to refresh and look back at TT, and I remember, I'm like, he would close.
Here we go. Mpumelelo. Mr. Anonymous, you always criticize Advocate Msholo. Let me say, it's not about criticizing Advocate Msholo. What I've seen in my own observation is that what looks right for Baloyi is normally commonly seen as the right thing also by Msholo. And why I'm saying that is the time, they always agree with the times. The times of postponement, the times of, there's that. And I'm not happy with that.
No sense of urgency.
There's no sense of urgency. Yes.
She's chilling.
Ntanzi, hello.
She's cruising.
Siyaphila senjani?
Ngiyaphila bhuti wami unjani?
Sikhona mfowethu.
Ukhuluma lo Mr. Adjourn lapha.
Yes, Mr. Adjourn.
Mina, what I find as a challenge is ukuthi there are several things ezingahlangani kahle lana. Some of the issues ukuthi sorry. Yebo?
Yeah.
Emily kunjani?
Siyaphila. Qhubeka.
Okay. So inkinga elana engiyibonayo ukuthi like thing a GMT. GMT is a single time zone issue because it's a geographical issue.
Okay.
It's from Greenwich, which is in the UK. It's measured. Maubega map, a geographical map.
Yeah.
We have got lines of latitude, which are lines asuka a North Pole to the South Pole. Each one of those lines is measured in 1 minute. So, as you move to the right from the UK, Useza Africa, each one of those represents 1 minute. Maufika in South Africa, it's 2 hours. GMT plus 2 means you are 2 hours away from GMT, which is 0. It's called Zulu now. So you don't add any time onto that. It's standard. So my normal ATN is 4 hours 57 minutes. That is what it is. It's just a standard. So you don't add anything.
Yes.
Yes, it's just geographic. It's just you don't add anything. Ngoba usetshenziswa ngabantu aeronautics and whatever. There is nothing that is added onto that. It's straight.
So basically, your submission is that it is not of good material when we are in this court. There shouldn't be objection to that.
Yes, that time it's just like a timestamp. That is what it is. There is nothing that is added or subtracted. That is the time. Yes, it's GMT. If you go now, how about Google Match and check with the GMT time zone. Yeah, Johannesburg or Gauteng or one. GM2 plus 2 hours. If you go GMT zone in Namibia or maybe Senegal or one, about GMT plus 1. It's from the UK. Yes. So there is nothing about it. Nothing is added on that. It's a timestamp.
Wow.
Look at what it has done then. Look at the change it has made in terms of the line of questioning and the momentum.
Yeah, it does that. It does that. Obviously, it upsets umuntu obuzayo. Ngoba la emaye kosho ukuthi kuchona lokho. It upsets them because it's just a geographic concept. There is nothing about it. It's straight. That time oyibonayo might GMT plus 2. If you go into your computer today and say you're programming whatever, in the past it was called GMT Cairo. Because on the same time zone with Cairo. So it's a latitude line. It's a line of latitude. Lines of longitude are like your equator, your Cancer of Capricorn, your Capricorn of Capricorn of Cancer, Capricorn of whatever. Yes. It's those lines of longitude and latitude. On your map, if you look on your map, Kulama lines are from the North Pole to the South Pole. Kulama lines across the map. So that's all there is to it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
So literally that 4 p.m. is the one.
It is explained properly.
It is the one.
That's why I like this channel, because
I'm outside 4 p.m. I'm outside. Catch me outside. That was 4 p.m. Mtakama.
And then that changes everything.
And now we can only wonder what were the follow-up questions and
Zanzi,
statements.
Hello. Zanzi, hello.
Hi,
how are you?
Yes, Mr. Anonymous, hello?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Yes, I'm sure you can hear me.
Yes.
I'm calling you from Sydney, Australia.
Yes, I can see. Australia. Yes.
Australia.
Oh, good. Yeah. My 2 cents is every description from Zandi in terms of what really happened. To me, it does not make sense. How can you push someone who's holding a gun and the person with a gun doesn't do anything to anyone? Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. the person with if the person with a gun has never attempted to shoot any of those ones, it simply means it didn't happen, because the first attempt, logical, I think that will happen to a criminal who comes into a house and is pushed. He needs to shoot someone to see that it's serious.
Yes.
He's not joking.
Yes.
Yeah. And then my second point is regards to the time. Please, I agree with the previous caller. There is nothing technical about the time. I am in Australia. If you go to a world map, it will say Australian Eastern Standard Time, EST. When it compared to Johannesburg, it says +8. It simply means I am 8 hours ahead. It doesn't say in Johannesburg time you must add 8 hours. No. So that guy, that long guy arrived at 5. And if the shooting happened at 8, that gives him 3 hours of sitting in the house. So this story of going to buy soup and what, and someone then coming to add pap does not add up to me. Yeah. And then all I'm hoping for is, like you guys, you're correct, the advocates this time, they need to finish off by disputing that none of my client was there. That is the only thing that is missing, that you are coming up with your story, my client was not there, finish.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
That's my 2 cents from my side.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And they don't need for Lorraine to agree with them. They just have to put it on the record.
It is sort of like a refresher for also a judge to understand where your arguments are going, and lay that platform of, first, you are creating the contradictions because why you are contradicting yourself is because that thing does not exist. That thing was never there. There was never an intruder there. My client was not there. Hence, you are contradicting yourself now. You had 2 guns when before. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for holding my call.
Not a problem.
On my side, I want to take it like this. Can I problem le Zandile ke la mathomo atla kwa Garabo lobe. It's the second time I fitla kwa Garabo. If it's the second time I fitla kwa Garabo, why I would say mama hae gore my boyfriend is on the way, he's coming. So if abazanga ba met basakane for the first time, so that means we without invited and attender without invited. Mama because of he was angry. You cannot tell him or tell her or my boyfriend is coming. Absolutely, I'm more even one day. Yeah, that means they go on a more feeling that's
why I couldn't add that thing she snuck him in without her mother being there to make it okay.
We get your theory.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Guys, just like the video. 300 I see on my side. 300, I don't know, but can we push it to 500? So we've got 718 people here.
Please like the video,
us.
Guys.
We are taking your calls for now. I'm not gonna go to WhatsApp as yet. I'm just gonna be waiting for calls here.
That like button below there. Just take a little bit of a minimize the screen and then hit it.
Yes, do you remember when we were deliberating when could be the time of this incident?
Yes,
which changes the whole scenario if you look at it like that. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Hello. Hey, how are you, sir? Can you hear us?
Hello.
We can hear you. You can just shoot then, because I think we have problems of hearing each other, but we can hear you from this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Okokuqala angibonge kuwe anomakenzana nasi yawo email.
Thank you.
Nombuzo eyiwani into njalo ngiyayibuza abantu abangiphendula. Upheli uthiwa wayedansa lapha sitting room.
Yes.
Waphuma upheli wabaleka wayekameleni. Wadlulaphi upheli? Wadlula kulabo abantu emnyango noma kukhona enye indlela yokudlula kuya ekameleni. Kusho ukuthi manje ukuthi upheli wabaleka kuqala, upheli futhi uyena umuntu waqala ukuphusha umuntu.
Yes.
Ngoba obviously mabethi ulonge waphusha umuntu washesha. Basebadubula bobabili bethatha nanto wayeke esicapheni sakhe. Ukuthi upheli wayedlule kuye esikhathi siyenzela ekameni. Nombuzo loyo indlela engayami ukuthi singapicture indlu yakapheli ayiqeda manje ngendlela yami engathi yona yini noma ngamanga.
You've got a point there. You've got a point.
Okwesibili ngivula okwesibili ngibuze uthi uZandi angazi abhude lapha amabuzo umbuzo uthi ulongwe after ukuphusha aphume ahambe umgcine nini wabuye wambona nini ukuthi uthi yena angazi wabhuda wathini wagcine sebonile ukuthi uyacindezela la wasifino longo ngambona again esibhedlela. Esibhedlela wambona nini uthi hayi ulongo sahlala wahamba naye eMagdalene. Kodwa manje ngiyabuza uTumelo uthi after ukuphusha le muntu ulongo kaphindanga wambona la khona wambona sebecabana labantu bakhona angazi bathi be-department angazi ukuthi
yeah, I remember that too.
Uzandi ala naye 1 week ulongo eMalbat.
Yes.
So angazi noma yini engizwanga kahle noma
you had correct actually, you had correct.
Bukhona ukushayisana lapho nami uyongisiza anonymous ngifanele la lengane la yabaleka yangena khona ukuthi hayi iyadlula qala yona ngaphambi kokuthi idlulilongo nokuthi kuhlala kwabo eMalbatini no alomfana ijinda la angibonge kulomntana.
Thank you.
Asibonge.
I think to echo what the caller said, I tried asking that question. What is an order of these things happening? I understand that Longwe is the first one who moved.
Yes.
And then what?
When did Kelly move?
Is it Kelly the first one who just decided to run? And then from there, if that is the case, then how did the actually, because this is a sitting room, and the sitting room you need to go to the passage and then go to this. That means then the first intruder could have been standing there.
Was Kelly standing next to the bedroom that she ran into?
And there's no, remember I think the room they are talking about is almost behind the sitting room. That's my thinking. So that means you have to get out of this and go to the passage and go to that room.
And pass everybody.
You would pass the intruder, definitely, for sure. So the story of being chased by a second intruder is even far-fetched if you look at it like that.
Because he was behind the first intruder.
He would need to pass the first intruder to chase.
And considering that Mtogo is going to testify that he had a knife, and he was pushing with Kelly at the door, and he had a knife. Guys. Kathleen. It's a lot going on with this story. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Even if you make a
you're
movie
right,
out of it.
Matumelo. The other thing is that we are ignoring is that Longwe ran out of the house, leaving the girlfriend inside the house.
And then goes and meets with them at the hospital, and the girlfriend is not upset that you left me in a danger zone. What kind of a boyfriend are you? She's not upset. Everything is
all good.
Mandisa, Senzo
You got
didn't
the
like
Chinese
us to
eyes.
fight. Mandisa, Senzo didn't like umsindo. What happens when you see
Why do you know Senzo that much? Not your boyfriend. Not asking questions about your boyfriend. You
Why
focusing
did you
on-
leave me? I could have
You know?
gone.
Yeah.
What kind of love
it could have
do you
been
have
me
for
there.
me?
It could have been me there.
It could have been me there. You know? That kind of... he's coming with your mom. All honky-dory at
But
the hospital.
the issue of
After leaving you
Longwe
guys.
running out also, don't forget that he left the phone and then he had the phone.
In the pocket.
It's a lot.
But
we
Akiris
should,
de novo. A lot is going to change with this story as well.
we should no, but remember, de novo or not de novo.
Pull that interview.
I hope they subpoena that interview.
Subpoena that interview. Subpoena it quickly, please.
I hope it is there already because icon.
Guys,
let me
it's a
see.
lot. I can't pretend anymore. I can't. This is a mess.
Mr. Anonymous, Emily, good evening. I need to clarify on this suspect. The short one, first intruder, was carrying a gun. Zansi, hello.
Emily, hello, right?
It's going, sir.
Emily, no?
Hi.
Yeah, Emily is there. He's right there. It's fine. Yes. I hope you can hear.
Hello?
Yeah, I hope you can hear. We can hear you. We can hear you properly, but probably you are not able to hear us.
Yeah, ngifuna nami thulempinyana kule case le.
Mm-hmm.
Yabona ujudge uqedile ngaye lo ntombazana.
Mm.
Yeah, mayethi yena masay ukuthi iclient yami ingekho iMagdalene whatever yabo. Uqede ngabe yabatshela nje ukuthi mina ningajikaji. Iclient yami ingekho la. So that's ukuthi laba maloyers into kumele beyenze nje kuphela. Beqede ngayo lo ntombazana.
Exactly.
Isitori sakhe sihlangani ngisi. Yeah, sihlangana.
Wow. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Into shodayo nje ilama
Yes,
closing.
Anna, it's 744 now. Can we please be back for your like and subscribe?
We're begging for likes. I will beg, honey.
And those subscribers to
will
push.
beg.
So the short one, first intruder was carrying a gun, and the second nothing. Then was it? This is yesterday, I think. Hi, how law is practiced maybe in jurisdiction? I am okay. Mzansi, hello.
I'd like to hear from that one.
Mzansi, hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
We are all good.
Yes. My sister, very nice lipstick.
Thank
so
you.
guys, if you remember correct, Zandile, before she told the court that her sister and Senzo, they was a very happy couple. She even mentioned that I don't know if Senzo was planning to pay Lobola, but now today, suddenly they were very unhappy. Yes, so lots that is happening in this case, and also the story of people entering the house. If you listen to the story, this robbery took almost more than 10 minutes. It's like, I don't know, the normal robbery cannot take more than 10 minutes. People with a gun busy fighting with people who don't even have a knife. They only have the mental injury without a nail. There's no way. So, I think what irritated the judge today is that Remember, he's a very well-experienced judge. He can already see. By even Zandile Khumalo, he can already tell what's happened.
Yeah.
So, my lawyers now, I want to what he's looking for. To go straight to the point. But we want to be busy scared because that's really judge every time when they're trying to say something, he was blocking them.
Yes.
So this is not the same judge. They should just speak up and tell the court that, listen, no one entered the house. Whoever shot Senzo was a person that was in the house. And also, therefore, he once mentioned that long way left. So what happened is Longo came with the gun, trust me, Longo, he didn't pull the trigger. Because Longo, therefore said Longo left. And think when he left, the gun was left behind. Whoever pulled the trigger was the person that was in the house, but it wasn't Longo. And think, in terms of what Longo live out there, the cases, he might have came with the gun. But definitely he wasn't the one who pulled the trigger. And also, I think we all know that no one entered the house. No one entered the house. And also, I can already tell by the SMSes, then the Ruben Senzo was shot by mistake. But SMSes tells you that, even if it was a mistake, but she did benefit from Senzo being shot because they wasn't happy. She already mentioned on the SMS that I want to be out of this relationship. So one way or another. So I think, I don't know why previously this SMS thing didn't come up, why only now. But I think also it's a benefit because it's showing that they wasn't happy because we all assume that Senzo actually tell Umandisa he loved Kelly, but that's not the case. Seems like Senzo ube treated nje like other married men out there. Yes.
Sure.
So thank you so much, guys, for the show. I'm just waiting for Monday. I trust Khumalo will do a good work.
Yeah.
As for Mnisi, I don't know. They did mention that my client wasn't there. No one entered the house. I don't know why this time around they didn't mention that. So let's wait from Shololo as she 100% trusting herself. Let's hope she won't disappoint us like she did before. Because, before everyone was waiting from Shololo, she's going to come with us, but Shololo was like, 0%. She didn't give us what we were looking for from her.
She was flat. Yeah.
Today she stood up and came up with my Lord. Don't include me. I'm still coming.
Especially with
let's
this
see what's
witness.
going to happen on Monday. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Yes,
Thank
bye.
you.
Everything said is alleged, and wow, I would actually for days sit down and review with this caller.
Yes.
I would sit down and review with this caller. The thinking, the way is navigating.
Yes.
She's on another level.
She is definitely on another level. She is. She deserves to be a co-host.
I would. I would even.
In fact,
I would even sit this one out if she was to come, and I would just be an engineer fixing things here.
And I can dish it whether you unpack it for me, unpack it for us.
Yeah.
The layers. It's beautiful. But yeah, hey, Advocate Michelle, you need to do this well. But this witness is yours. Is yours for the taking, Advocate Michelle.
Guys, let's like and subscribe. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Isakala vele. Mzansi, hello. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
We are good.
We are good. Are you still on, or is it your show off now?
Shoot
your shot.
Okay. Oh, hayi bengifuna ukukhuluma ngendaba yedona ye-court namhlanje ukuthi ujaji ngichaze ujaji ngendlela abatshele ngayo ama-advocates nama-lawyer. Ukuthi into abayishoyo olona ukuthi abakhulumi ngama-client wabo.
Yeah.
Ukuthi-ke ama-client they were not there ngalelanga okwakwenzeka ngakhona i-crime that day uSenzo ashona ngalo. So bona bayale nale abayi straightforward ukuthi-ke no that is what has happened. So i-client yami yenzeke this and this. So ujaji ubatshele nje ukuthi next week I want ukuthi nje yonke into ihambe ngale ndlela kuzokwazi ukuthi nale i-court le ukuthi noma sibone ukuthi iya kuphi njengoba phela last time ithathe isikhathi eside singazi ukuthi-ke iyaphi. Yeah, so for me nje ngibona ukuthi-ke next week sizobona ukuthi-ke where this thing is going. Yeah.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Okay, thank you so much.
Cool.
Afuna dispute.
Okay. High law is practiced maybe jurisdiction. I'm a jurist, doctor, student in Australia. But law's behavior is concerning if he know that the witness had passed on, he was supposed to notify his learned colleagues as soon as he knew it not at the bar table during the cross-examination. Judge Ranta has hold the state to account for withholding the information from the defense. Yes, that's correct. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Njani?
Sikhona sir.
Bengine question la yokuthi bathi if intruder ne ingene nomama Zandi no Keni. Wafika washaya umama Keni ngeloka ne wathatha ifoni. uKeni uphume nini ngoba bekudutshula? uKeni uphume nini? Because bekudutshula. That's my first. Yes, sekona ukuthi uThiko ufonelwe ngibani ukuthi le basesibhedlela. Yeah, it's my question ukuthi ufonelwe ngibani?
Yeah.
uThiko.
Yeah.
Yeah, aze ehle naye wahlala phansi kwenze kanjani le? Yeah, thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey you guys, ama question wenu anzima.
Zandile.
Good evening. Ninjani Mzansi?
Sikhona njani?
Sikhona ukhuluma noThulani Sithole.
Yebo mfowethu.
Bengifuna ukukhomenta ngale case le eka Senzo Meyiwa.
Yebo.
So yazi mina ngokuyibona kwami le case. Awekho ama-intruders angena but manje ama-advocates akakhona ukuthi a-stand firm ukuthi atshene ulento lo witness ukuthi akuna lana kulama-client esinawo akunama-intruder angena endlini.
Yebo.
Ngoba umuntu lento akekho kahle umuntu owangena endlini. Manje lona umeni description ngokwami ngibona ukuthi unika i-description ye-boyfriend yakhe. So manje kuthi uNtumekala nakala i-height eyalomfana lo akala ulombe ngalomfana lo accused number 2.
Yeah.
Yabo. Ngoba manje methu slim ti mude akekho light akekho dark ne complexion. Uthatha lo mfana lo amenze unika i-description kalongwe umuntu wayesendlini akanika i-description ukuthi lo mfana lo omunye accused number 2 yabo. So yena uthatha ukuthi ufuna ukulahlisa ngalomfana ukuthi abanake lo mfana uyena anjobeleke ekhombana naye.
Yes.
Yabo.
Yes.
Kahle ukuthi laphana akho ngempela ngokwami kuyibona lento akho lento umfo yazi sometimes yabo manje lapho uthi sengina 44 years of service lemaphoyiseni. ngaqashwa ngalo yahulumeni yabona nje ngokwami ngabe lento kade yasolveka there was no ama intruder angena endlini yabo ngokuyibona kwami ngathini ngokubona ngokumsebenzi engwenzayo yabo lento clean uthi bezanya yona ukuthi iphazanyiswe ulandwe laba ngoba laba abantu abayihluphekelayo yabo like nje into oqala besoyithatha bathi ama suspect sebalethe 5 but bathi kwangena ama intruder u2 endlini bana uqale sibheke lapho nje manje particularly abantu 5 at the dock endibona nto bafana le 3 funane at the dock ekubeni ama suspect angena endlini awu2
yes
you cannot even give description of the suspect udescribe wona boyfriend yakho ngalomfana lona lomfana omunye odark othi mude and then ushiya utrime ugunde njenge boyfriend yakho ngoba wathi boyfriend yakho wena lomfana kakazabe nama-dreads cha yabo lomfana ubeyisebenzele Rustenburg when the crime was committed lo munye uyihlalele ethembisa when the crime was committed laba abanye bebengekho nje kwi-scene of crime yabo but my investigation I think mina befanele kube nabantu bebefuna ukuvala ukuthi akithi phela ithele lento imiyenze uthe uma engena uRamaphosa and then from there ucelwa sejeni uzothola abantu bose khamba phathwa bonke abantu aba-innocent yabo so abantu abasendlini ibona abane-idea ukuthi owadubula uMeyiwa uwekhona lapha endlini futhi yabo ngokwami kuyibona lento bhuti angazi
siyabonga bhuti
yebo bhuti serious ngempela ngoba hayi yabona nje akithi ngizoyilandela into ngoba umsebenzi wami vele uyisiphoyisa I've got 44 years now of service ngiseva but nje lento for mina ngabe kade asolveka niqeda ukwenzeka
sibonga kakhulu
okay bhuti siyabonga nibe nobusuku obumnandi kumzansi yazi nisiphathele into ezimnandi
siyabonga
danki
anokumnandi uzwa iphoyisa
kumnandi uzwa umuntu osebenza khona
kumnandi ngoba sifila ngathi sihlezi sibabhesha njalo kodwa bakhona nabanye
Mzansi, hello. Hi, say, how are you?
Yebo. Ngiyaphila.
Siyaphila mfowethu.
Hey, le ndaba le mina ngithanda lapha ma ukhuluma ngalesibhamu lesi i-Revolve 38.
Yebo mfowethu.
Ihambisana noTumelo uthe na kunesibhamu sesondo. Manje inkinga i-38 kanti ilahla kanjani ama-cartridge ngoba manje ayilahli phela ama-cartridge laba waxosha la angithi ngiyazi bathi i-dinova lento le kodwa phela thina ababukela asiyenzi le dinova yawo simbonile lapha umsiya esibonisa yini ama-cartridge phansi so ilapho ke mina engiyibona khona ukuthi seyilahlekile yonke lento le
ayiwalahla ama-cartridge le nhlobo le angazi ke mina cha ibhamu impela angazi lutho ngazi
i-revolver inini
iyawabamba phakathi
so ke iwabamba ngaphakathi so manje bona mabethola lama-cartridge yikho la kunenkinga khona and uTefo naye ukhulumile ukuthi no isibhamu esasebenza laphana i-38
yabona
abantu bathi uTefo uyisebenzi kwathini nayi phela apha mangakaTefo manje
yes yonke into is playing out and uTefo phela uyakhumbula sixoxela kwi-interview ukuthi uke wasebenza lo msebenzi uphoyisa so that's why he was hating
and manje uTefo maye letha le ndaba yokuthi akukho umuntu wangena uyiletha ngokuthi kune statement sale case entsha lesithi esabhala ngazo usibani lo mama lo abesithi uyathochara lo ehambisa emangcwabeni yebo wathi mayibhala wathi it is nonsensical ukuthi kunabantu abangena abantu abayazi icala yilaba abasendlini angibonge ke nami ngitshela abanye sizwe ukuthi bathini kodwa mina ngibona icala libaphazamisa ke khona apha ezibhamini 38 le 9mm le ngoba phela ngeke kuze kuhlangana
yebo mfowethu hayi siyabonga kakhulu
siyabonga
yes nangu hey Zvazva, I think Zvazva. I don't know if I'm correct in reading this. The missing link that they could use really was the other docket. The other docket makes it easy to say it was you guys who killed each other. Exactly. I hope this is what you wanted me to read because Emily, they want you to read some of the comments.
Okay, let me connect to the internet, guys.
Now is the time for defenders to take no from all this nonsense. Tell her straight if she's listening. Okay. See, there is this is Matumelo. Again, guys, how did the intruder leave the house? No one is asking that. How did the second intruder leave? Because he got beaten up. I guess he survived such that he could still run after Mtogo. Was it the second intruder? Yeah, second intruder ran after Mtogo.
Yeah, the second intruder.
According to Dinovo.
Yes.
And
Bongani Ntanzi. The 3.8 special revolver, according to Longwe's statement, is the same gun his father had reported missing. Allegedly. Everything is alleged. The gun with the wheel, but the gun that links the suspect is a parabellum. Guys. Allegedly.
These guys.
Hey.
Man. Guys, please like the video. Please like the video.
Hey. Bongani. This is fucking king in win.
Please like the video and subscribe, guys. I think Emily, for me, I have attended all these calls. It was nice being here. Therefore, is not sleeping.
He's not sleeping. What do you mean?
No, Tito Gatifo is not sleeping.
Oh, Tito Gatifo is not
according
sleeping.
to the story, this is Vincent Zungu. According to the story, scuffle a kitchen, which means umuntu owabona usizwe Senzo Meyiwa was Mam Khumalo.
She was closer.
Yeah.
In a sense that she was closer. During the scuffle.
They put her under immense pressure then. Please like the video. Please subscribe.
And also something that I want to think about, but I don't know whether, Mr. Anonymous, help me navigate before I... Okay, now, the fact that Zandi's statement was written at 2:00. And she has changed to say that, the police actually said that they will come and fetch us instead of what she had said prior to say the police said we must come. And they were escorted, right, the previous night to their place in Malberton. And they stayed there. Remember, this staycation was everyone whose story is similar.
Yeah.
Longo was also there, as Zandi disclosed in her testimony.
Only Mtogo was absent, eh?
Only Mtogo was absent.
I get you. I get your thinking.
And the police station statement, Sarah Zandi, was written at 2:00.
And by the sound of what is happening right now, there is a bit of collaboration of what Mtogo has said before. A bit of in this new one. It's a bit of it looks like rectifying in a sense. So if you don't adjust to our statements, we'll adjust to your statement.
And remember how before De Novo, very few of Mtogo's statements from 2014 were mentioned. A lot of the statements that they were reading out to him were from 2018. And I'm asking myself, what happened? I think they only quoted one from 2014. I'm like, what happened to the ones that were done closer to the incident? Because those are the ones that I would take and I prefer hearing from than the one in 2018. Because by 2018, a lot of things were interrupted.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Guys, thank you very much for being with us up to this point. I think one more, I request for your like, I request for your subscription if you really like this content and like staying with us.
And for us to continue, guys.
We are here. We're not going anywhere. And again, this is not for people who do not want to listen to discussion. This is for people who want to listen to. So that means you must have data, because if you don't, then you're gonna come and say, "Why didn't you do a 5-minute stuff or 24-minute stuff?" We do that sometimes, but not all the time.
We do it. There are other content that we've covered in a short space of time, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or whatever. But this Senzo Meyiwa trial,
everyone must get a chance.
Yeah.
Even the callers must get a chance.
Even you guys, it's your platform, because we don't know everything. We don't know what's going on. We might be analyzing wrong. We don't want to accuse people of things that do not make sense. So when you guys call in, it's very refreshing, and to know that there's actually people watching us, There's people, you guys are there. It's not a numbers thing. There's actual human beings, actual people who are exactly like us, Mr. Anonymous. I'm very happy with our people. I'm very happy.
Very nice. But on your way out, those who are done watching, please make sure that you like the video. If you haven't, subscribe. And you can also join and become a member.
Yes,
and thank you very much.
Really
thank you,
helpful.
Matumelo. Thank you, family. Zoloso too. Thank you. Much love. More love to you. On the line, OMG, I'm late. Yeah, you're not late, but we leave this video for you.
It's there.
It's there. Unfortunately, you cannot interact with us because we are now moving out. Lindogutle, okay, this one is answering Vincent Zungu, but I think I have covered everyone. I'm not missing anyone. No one is calling. Thank you very much, guys. It's a bye from us.
Bye.
Oh, what is more?